I hope you understand that the parameters for this training are, eligibility criteria is that you must have at least a 4-year bachelor's degree. On top of that, you need to have at least 3 years of project experience that could be explicitly portrayed in 36 months. And third requirement is you should have a training on project management for 35 hours, or the other option is that you must be a CAPM certified professional, that is certified associate in project management. But anyways, this training counts towards your 35 hours. I am sure you must be holding a bachelor degree of 4 years, and you also must be having an experience of 36 months already. As Nabil told me, he has already attended a similar training, so this is going to be a refresher for him. But as I said, this training is specifically uh, conducted for you, Nirja. Uh, if you fulfill this criteria, that is good enough. But maybe if you have less experience, sorry, not the less experience, if you have less uh, number of years after in your degree, I mean, if your bachelor degree was not of 4 years, or you are just a high school diploma holder, their requirement is slightly different for them. They ask for more experience from these people. That is about 60 months of project experience, which comes out to be around 5 years. But anyways, I'm sure you are falling in the first category, isn't it? Yes, Nirija? Are you in the first category? I can't hear you again. There is something wrong. Nabil, you fulfill this criteria?
Yes, sir.
First one?
Yeah, first one.
Okay, good. And when did you apply for the PMP exam?
Currently, I didn't apply for PMP, but I already earned the 35 PDU by getting the course on the Udemy. So I just want to refresh because it was
Okay,
a long
okay.
time ago.
Mhm. Okay, I thought you took a training from some instructor directly.
No, no, I get
Udemy,
the training from. Yeah,
Udemy
Udemy.
trainings are kind of on-demand kind of thing.
Yeah, they put their course on the Udemy, and people are getting the knowledge from them and getting the PDUs because they are also PMP certified, means PMI certified practitioner and trainer.
I know that, but you can't really trust a training which is on demand, because on demand trainings, they whatever they say, they record it, and you can't talk to
Yeah,
them. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
is not a very reliable source. Anyways, no problem.
Suhail, can you hear me? Suhail, can you still not hear me, or are you able
I
to hear
I
me
can
now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay. So, quickly, an introduction about myself, if that's okay. So,
Yeah.
I think I have completed my bachelor's degree, which is for 4 years, and I work for a bank, Heartland Bank, and I've been working since 2020. So, since 2021, 20, I've always been involved with projects, but I've been independently managing and delivering projects since 2021. So, I complete my almost 4.5 years with project management. I've got the experience, but
Right.
I'm here with you today because I have with me a program manager who works for the organization, who's
Mm-hmm.
got around 20 to 22 years of experience, and I look up to her
Mm-hmm.
to move up in my career. So the reason for me to join this course is to help me further enhance what I already know, and then understand further and how to kind of, from a professional really. And whether it be Heartland or any other organization, I think a certification would be a long way to go if I'm successful. And to help me, move up in the career, or when I'm looking out for a more challenging job, or any other wider, bigger projects. So that is why I'm here, Suhail. And I'm sure
Wonderful.
that you would be able to help me. And I'll do my best to attend the course every day. And I'll do as much practice I can from my end. And I would really like to pass the examination with distinction and do well. So that's why I'm here.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's a very nice introduction. Let us also have the introduction from Nabil. Nabil, please, can you tell us about yourself?
So yeah, I did my graduation since 2018. I'm from Pakistan, and I am in the market in the construction industry from the last around 6.5 years. So I did 4 in Pakistan, and currently I am working in Saudi Arabia from last 2 years in the
Okay,
construction industry.
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Right. So, what is your area, Nirja? Area of,
And
yes?
so I work for the bank, and
Bank. Okay.
I'm a project manager, and then I'm a
Got it.
part of a team that delivers projects which enhances customer experience through the digital channels, which is
Okay.
Heartland Digital, which is the web app, and then the mobile app. And also, I work very closely with business, legal, to enhance the existing processes, streamline them. And I work cross-functionally with various different teams to deliver projects to meet the bank's strategy.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so both of you are fulfilling the first criteria. You do have a 4 years bachelor degree, 36 months of experience or more, naturally, and this training will count towards your 35 hours. So, for all practical purposes, you are good to go for PMP. Whatever we talked about, let us ask a couple of questions here. One of the PMP eligibility requirement is 35 hours of project management education or training or CAPM certification. Is it true or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Good, good, good. Anybody applying for PMP certification can have experience of 36 months leading projects that could be overlapping.
Yes. I don't
Yes,
know
sir?
what the meaning of overlapping is, but you could have 36 years of experience. Yes, 36 months of experience. Sorry, doing
36.
project management.
Okay. And what do you think, Nabil?
Uh, I think you should be leading the project as a slow, but I'm not sure what's the meaning of overlapping in terms of.
Yeah, that is the crux. And overlapping means that you can show experience of simultaneously two projects during that time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
Then okay. Then okay. Yes.
No, it's not okay.
Uh-huh.
If you show your experience which is overlapping with other projects, then your time of experience will be counted only towards one project, and the other project will be assumed to start after the end of the first project.
Got it. Got
Right.
it. Got it.
Right. Okay.
You
Thank
cannot
you.
be doing two projects at a time. They cannot be overlapping, right?
Right.
Got it.
But if
Right.
at all you have overlapping experience, it will not add to your experience. It will not count towards 36 months, right?
Right.
Okay. So no,
So,
I don't think I fall in the category. I have done various projects,
mhm.
but over the span of 4.5 years, I have always done one particular project, which has been a top one priority, I would say.
Okay, okay. So you should mention that project for the whole
Yeah,
experience,
sure.
right? Maybe for the whole 3 year experience, you just can count on that one project. Don't try to show 4 or 5 projects you have been doing simultaneously, because that will create confusion, and maybe PMI has some argument on that, and they would say
Can I
no.
say one after the other, Suhail?
Yes,
I
please.
would definitely have not done one project for the whole 4.5 years, but I have done one after the other.
Yeah, that is okay. That is okay.
Okay. Okay.
But if for example, if you were doing a project for continuously 5 years,
Yeah.
and you were doing other projects also in during that period, so actually one project experience is all right for you to show. Either
Okay.
you show the single project you have been doing for last 5 years, or you show the small projects you have been doing one after the other. But don't show both of them.
Sure.
Right. So the answer here is no, just due to the overlap. I know both of you noticed this thing, but you did not understand what is the implication of overlapping. Overlapping means two projects simultaneously done. That is not allowed by PMI. Okay, there is a small little video I want you to show before I can start doing anything. So let us look at this video and try to learn about the project economy. Here it is.
As we adapt to new ways of working and prepare for future disruption, organisations will see a growing need for skilled project managers. The PMI 2022 Jobs Report showcases emerging sectors and trending industries where project leaders can find opportunities to drive growth and innovation in every region of the globe. Countries in the Asia-Pacific region expect their economies to grow in 2022. Meanwhile, talent is in high demand in many countries and industries. While China's economy has experienced a slight slowdown, a number of factors should contribute to increased project activity, including consumer spending increases and China's energy transition plan. Supply chain disruption and rising energy prices, along with rapid digitalization, are driving an increased demand for project professionals in Europe, especially in IT. The current conflict in the region will have long-term humanitarian and economic consequences that will require response. There has been a spike in demand throughout Latin America for project managers, particularly in the technology and manufacturing sectors. Rebounding oil pricing, government investment in high-profile mega-projects, and international events like Expo 2020 Dubai and the 2022 FIFA World Cup promise to reinvigorate the region's economy and need for project managers. The Great Resignation and supply chain problems have put job seekers in high demand in the US and Canada as companies look toward automation and digitization to protect against future disruption. Despite the pandemic, the global demand for products manufactured in South Asia has continued to increase over the past 2 years. As a result, companies are willing to invest more in project managers with strong innovation and leadership skills. Nearly a third of global aid, roughly $32 billion, is spent in Africa, and that's fueling new development jobs across the region, up to 45% of which will need project talent. The demand for project talent is high around the world. Are you ready to take your career to the next level?
That is the question. Are you ready? So I think this must have pumped you a bit about how necessary it is. Anyways, let us start with the matter. Actually, your exam is going to be in these three vertices. This triangle is called the Talent Triangle by PMI, and they had recently come up with it. Not really recently, but a couple of years back, they came up with the idea of Talent Triangle, and they wanted to emphasize here that it is not only the project management technical skill which is required to pass this exam, or which is required to be a good project manager, but in addition to that, you must have certain other skills as well. For example, the people skill, which we also call the power skills, and some people call it the soft skills. These are the skills of leadership, negotiation, conflict management, empathy, emotional intelligence, and a lot many other things we do as a project manager, right? But without these power skills, your project management, overall project management skills may not be facilitated, no matter how experienced you are in the technical work of the project. As far as the technical work of the project, how to do it, what are the guidelines, what are the standards, and what approach do you take to do the project, that is all included in ways of working. The light bluish cyan color shown, that vertex of the triangle is definitely the major portion, but that is called the way of working. You will be getting at least 50% questions in the exam from ways of working. 42% questions are going to be from the power skills area, and 8% questions are going to be from the business acumen or business environment. What is business environment? We'll talk about it, but business environment or the business acumen is how well you understand the vision, mission, strategy, and strategic objectives of your organization, and how does your project feed into that, right?
Suhail, you don't mind if I take notes, right?
Sure, why not? Why not?
Okay. Okay.
So these are the three
Okay.
words. So although I said that in business acumen, you would be asked about 8% questions, but I must tell you, this area is so important, business acumen, that everything oozes out of it. This is where your strategy lies. This is where you hook up with the strategy, the purpose, why you are doing this project, that is in understanding the strategy of the organization. So business acumen, though they are just 8% questions, but they are going to be, this area, this domain is very, very important. As far as your
Suhail,
examination,
sorry. Before
yes,
you proceed, can you again tell me, I understood the power skills. Can you tell me the ways of working again? What does that exactly mean?
as far as the people skill are concerned, the power skills are concerned, out of your exam, 42% questions you will be getting from that area. 50% questions you will be getting from the technical area, that is your way
Technical.
of working.
Okay, technical.
And
Okay.
8% of exam is going to be from the business acumen.
Okay. Can you give me an example of technical, just one example, ways of working? Because power skills and business environment is very clear to me. Could you please
Okay,
give me an
good.
example?
Very good. Tell me what the projects you do, how do you do them? Do you do them in an agile manner or in a predictive manner?
Currently not agile, but we do waterfall.
Okay.
The thing is, with respect to any business continuous improvement for business, we have a mobile app which we kind of do once in every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But essentially, the other wider projects which requires cross-functional teams, it ranges somewhere from 1 month to around 3 months time for now.
Okay. So you do understand that the kind of projects you are doing, the approach to do it, the technical approach to do those projects could either be a waterfall, or it could be agile, or maybe some other kind of approaches. So knowledge of all of these different approaches, which could be applicable to the work, is your technical knowledge, is your
Got
way
it.
of working.
Got it. It's clear now, Suhail. Thank you.
Good, good. And Nabil, you can ask any questions whenever you want, right? You can
Right. Sure, sir.
raise your hand or you can speak up. That is all right. But I think this is just the start, so you might be knowing it. Okay, one important thing I want to tell you is PMP exam content outline. Do you understand what it is? Have you heard about it? What is ECO? Neerja?
No.
No, I haven't heard about it. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Oh,
It's new
okay.
to
Can I
me.
tell you?
Yeah.
180 questions. Is that the one you're talking about?
Say again?
180 questions. You need to complete in this many hours. Is that what you're talking about?
No. That is given in the PMP handbook. That gives you
LP.
the rules and
Okay.
whatever how can
Okay.
you apply no,
Okay.
that
Then
that
I'm
is a
wrong.
separate booklet. This is a
Okay.
separate booklet, and this
Okay.
booklet gives you the whole syllabus, right?
Okay. Okay.
For which you should prepare.
Okay.
Although it is common knowledge that people say if you study the standard, which is called a guide to project management body of knowledge, currently it is the 7th edition, that is the syllabus. I tend to disagree to that. That is not your syllabus. That is just a standard. Although it might be covering a lot of ground, which is given in examination content outline, but that gives you a detailed discussion on what all topics are there on which you can be asked questions. It doesn't contain any content, it doesn't contain any detailed description of any of the topic. These are just the headings, but all the areas you can be asked questions about, all the various domains, and those domains are divided into various tasks a project manager should be able to perform as a project manager. So I would say, although I'm not against PMBOK, PMBOK guide is good enough. That contains a lot of material, a lot many things, but don't rely on just the standard, because standard may not explain everything in that kind of detail in which PMI may be asking you questions. So to ascertain the level of detail about the type of questions, you must understand that ECU is the whole syllabus. It is a list of all the activities, all the tasks a project manager should be able to perform, whether you have done them or not. But you will be asked questions in the exam from these areas. That's why
Okay.
keep ECO closer to you, right?
How do I get access to the ECO? Will I be provided the booklet or something?
Okay. I can provide you that, but if you are a PMI member, or even if
Yes.
you're not a PMI member, you still can download this document from PMI website.
Thank
You
you.
go to the certifications page, go to the PMP, and in where it starts explaining about what PMP is. If you can scroll down, you will find a link to download the ECO.
Thank you.
But if you like, I can also send you. There is no problem at all. But the point I'm trying to make is this ECO is important. This is even more important than the standard itself, because the questions you will be asked in the exam are not going to be all coming from PMBOK. You can't later say that because this question was not in this topic was not discussed in detail in the standard, so it is out of course. Nothing is out of course. Anything which is mentioned in exam content outline, all those topics are in syllabus. I hope you understand that point.
Yes, got it.
I'm
I'm
not
happy to download it from the website.
okay. I'm not opening up the whole ECO, but if you want, I can do that. But first you download it and scan through it and then tell me if you have any queries about it. But this is the detail.
Sure. Thank you.
How do you move on with your PMP certification journey? I would say after you complete this course, you can submit your PMP examination eligibility application that is submitted online. Go to the PMI website and the same page which I refer to, go to the PMP page, certification page, and there is a link from where you can directly start the application. You can do that, but I would say that you will be charged more if you try to submit your application as a non-member of PMI. If you are not a member of PMI, you will be charged more fee. But if you are a member of PMI, you not only get all the membership benefits, but you will get a rebate on your exam as well. I am not.
Suhail, does the membership come with a cost?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, let me tell you, the conventional fee for non-members is $555. If you are a PMI member, you just have to pay $429, right? But then what is the fee for the PMI membership? PMI membership, you have to pay on yearly basis, and that is $129 every year. No, not every year. First year, you have to pay $129, and I think subsequently it is $119. And I may be a little wrong about the certification exam fee, the member fee. That is, I'm not exactly remembering what it was. 555 is the total fee, and $419 something like that. Anyways, but you should check on the PMI website. On and off, they are giving some rebate on this fee as well. So check on it. Maybe when you apply, you can apply in maybe as low as $350. So that is very much possible. Anyways, what I was saying was the sequence should be slightly altered. The number 3 step should come earlier than number 2. So first get your PMI membership, then you can start filling your application. That could be safe because PMI will not be able to accidentally charge you on full fee, but on the members fee. Right? I hope you get the point.
Yes, understood.
Right. Okay, after the course, when you have gotten the membership and filled in your application, give yourself some time to prepare in depth for the exam. Well, it all depends. If you got a good training, 1 month could be okay with you. 1 month preparation could be fine. But if you are confused about it, I would say let's extend this period to up to 3 months. After the course, you can take up to 3 months to prepare yourself. I mean, 1 to 3 months. But please do not take more than 3 months to appear in the exam. Because the things you have studied, you will start forgetting them. And if you are taking so much time, then I can assure you, you are not studying on daily basis. You
Okay.
are studying on part-time basis. And that is a recipe for forgetting everything. So 3 months is the limit. And I suggest you appear in the exam after 1 month of the preparation. Anyways, so it's your time. You can decide if your application is accepted by the PMI. They will ask you to submit your fee. So far, you have not submitted your fee. You will only be asked to submit your fee if PMI accepts your application, and for that, they will conduct an audit. What is this audit about? Actually, this is nothing to do with your application or how well you express your experience, but they are supposed to check all applications at random. So 10% of applications are picked up at random for audit purposes. That does not mean it was your fault. You did something wrong in filling the application. If you did something wrong in filling the application, PMI will otherwise get in touch with you and ask you to explain certain areas or maybe to correct certain areas. But once your application is considered complete by PMI, then they may get you on with the audit process. And I am saying it is not necessary that you get the audit. If you are, PMI calls it lucky 10%, because when you receive the letter for audit or message for audit, it says, congratulations, you have been selected for audit, right? So you must consider yourself lucky for that purpose. But anyways, out of your experience, whatever experiences you have shown, they will pick some of those experiences or your educational qualification, or maybe they pick all of them and they ask you to get them validated from the source. When you're filling the application and you're filling in your educations and your experiences, you would be providing the email address, telephone number of the contact person, name and all those things, even if it is a university, and you have to get those transcripts signed by the relevant person. So I would very strongly suggest, when you are filling the application, and whatever project or experience you are referring to, please keep a person who is handy, who is available to fill in your audit if the case rises.
Is that somebody within the organization? Is that what you're referring to, Suhail?
It could be your boss. It could be your colleague who knew that you did that project. Preferably,
Yeah.
it should be your boss.
Boss,
Or if
okay.
your boss is not available, maybe the head of the organization could watch for that. Or any
Sure.
one of the employees in the organization can confirm that you did that project.
Got it. I think I can get it from my boss. That's fine. Okay.
That is great. So you should be very careful in mentioning whomsoever the name is, because
Sure.
then you can't really change it. You have to
Got it.
they will send the transcript and they will be expecting that to be filled by them. They have improved the audit process. Previously,
Yep.
it used to be a physical process to go to that person and get those documents signed and then dispatch them to PMI. But now everything has become online. I have recently heard that PMI has started accepting online audits. That means just like you get the references for your job online, so similarly you could get these audits filled online. I hope you understand what I mean.
Yes, got it.
Okay, so now you have you'll be asked to pay your exam fee, whatever fee is applicable to you. you will pay that, and then you will be given 1 year time of eligibility, during which time you can appear in the exam. 1 whole year. Now, what do you do in 1 whole year? Some people wait for the end of the year. They keep sleeping for a whole year. And when they are close to the end of the year, then they start preparing. And by the time the year is ending, they are not yet prepared, and their application is no more valid. It is only valid for 1 year. You can appear in the exam only in that year, not beyond that. They never extend it now.
Okay.
So, what is the safe bet? As I said already, within 1 to 3 months after this course, you should be able to appear in the exam. So, if you had 1 year, and let us assume that you prepare for 3 months, you should appear in your exam after 3 months. What is the benefit of doing that? Benefit is there is no panic. You have a lot of time left. And in case, unfortunately, you fail, you still have your application valid. Your application is still standing good for remaining 9 months. I don't
think
mean... Yes, please.
I agree with you, Suhail.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting to the more interesting point, and that is, God forbid, if you do not pass the exam in your first attempt, which I assume you will, I am sure you will. But if you don't panic, don't worry. You can reattempt the exam 2 more times. This validity period is for 1 whole year, and during this 1 whole year, you can make 3 attempts. So, when you did not clear the exam in the first attempt, generally, tendency is you will panic. I have physically seen people who had been gold medalists in their education. They had never flipped the exam. They had been always the toppers, but they failed the PMP exam. And then they were so disheartened, so depressed, that they said, we will not do it again. That has ruined our career. That has ruined our record. We have never failed. How is it possible that we can fail? So people start thinking like that, which is negative thinking. And if they reattempt, how do they reattempt? If you ask someone who has failed the exam, he would say, I just failed by 1 question. How do you know you failed by 1 question? Did PMI tell you? You might have failed miserably. But when somebody is asking you, you say, I just failed by 1 or 2 questions. I am just going to do the reattempt in 2 days and I'll pass. Sorry, you cannot pass. You cannot pass if you appear in 2 days or 3 days. If you have failed, you have to control your emotions. You have to cool down. You do not have to panic. And you have to start preparing from the beginning. Look, you have already attempted the exam which you failed. So be mindful of what mistakes did you make in your exam. And never ever repeat those mistakes. But an emotional person who goes and sits the exam in next 2 or 3 days, he or she thinks that they have prepared very well. And it was a mistake by PMI that you failed. But actually, PMI failed you for a reason. Right? And if you don't correct that, you will again fail. I can guarantee you will again fail. And you will fail for the 3rd time as well. So every time you reattempt, you have to prepare from the beginning. So I would say give yourself another 3 months, because this time you have been bitten. You can't take a chance. So another 3 months will, will patch up your injury, and then you will pass.
Suhail,
This,
can I ask you a tricky question?
Mhm, mhm.
When you say 3 attempts within the span of 1 year, I have to make 3 different payments, right?
You have to make 3 different payments, but the subsequent 2 payments are not as much as the first
Uh,
one. Because the first
I'm
payment
not saying,
included your application fee as well.
got it.
So probably, if I am not wrong, if you are a member, you have to pay just about 275 or $300. If you are not a member, you have to pay more, maybe around $400.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Suhail.
Most of it. But it is just for the purpose of telling you that you have 3 attempts. I am not at all wishing that you should fail. Not at all. I am rather confident that with this preparation, you will be able to clear the exam like a breeze, right? So be confident
Me
about
too.
it.
Me too. I hope I'll pass.
Exactly. Okay, when you sit in the exam, it is going to be a 3 hours and 40-minute exam, right? There will be 180 questions. And out of those 180 questions, some of the questions will be test questions and they will not be marked. But the problem is, you would not know which of the 180 questions are test questions. Therefore, don't get into the trap of test questions. Just attempt every question in the exam as seriously as it was real. Okay? If you pass the exam, you will be intimated right there at the end of the exam. You will get a congratulatory message that you have passed the exam. You said you want to do it with distinction. There is no distinction in PMI. You just get one message. No matter how many marks you have got, how good you are, there is no distinction. You are either
Oh, so they
pass,
don't.
yeah,
So they don't tell you how many you got it right and how many percentage
not
you
at
have.
all. Not at all.
Oh,
You are
oh
just
man.
you are just pass or fail.
I wish I knew. Okay. Sounds good.
But you would know according to your preparation. The sign for that is you look at the question in the exam, you read half the question and you know the answer. That is when you are passing with distinction.
Another tricky question, Suhail.
Mhm.
Before the actual exam, will we have sample question papers at all that I can online that I can try to give it a go
Oh, of course.
as I continuously attend the sessions with you and learn self-study, etc.
Actually, Dr. Faz Rasool from PM Training School has given you access to a portal. That is a very rich portal. Try to
Yes,
access that,
yes.
and there you will find thousands of questions in different exam settings. I suppose there are 3 different types of questions. One questions are called chapter questions, right? So they are relevant to one topic each. What you can do is you can attempt those questions when you have covered that specific chapter. You can do them while you are preparing, as you are saying. Then there are mini quizzes. Mini quizzes are like they are like actual exam, but not total 170 questions. They are like 30 or 40 or 50 questions in each set, right? You can attempt those after you have prepared, after you have done all your preparation, and now you want to test yourself how it would seem like sitting in the exam. So do those mini exams. If you are just about to appear in the exam, maybe just a week earlier, you start doing the full length exams, just as if you are sitting in the exam setting, right? All of the 180 questions in one go, right? So you have a lot of help. Not only that, there is a lot of material on PM training portal. And there you will have maybe the old videos of PMP. The thing we are conducting right now is the latest thing, and I am recording it. I can also provide you these recordings. Moreover, there a lot many other things are also included in that package. You go and visit it, and you will really be blessed with that. For you, Nabil, I would say you can purchase that directly from me. I can give you that access. I can request Dr. Faiz Rasool. He can give you the access at a cost, right? It is not going to be
Right.
free. But that is a very good resource. I personally do know and understand. I give that access to all of the students also.
Thank you.
Anyways, what happens next? I have told you if you don't pass, then you have two more attempts, and you should be making your second attempt in the 6th month of eligibility, and the third attempt in the 9th month of eligibility. Do not try it in the last 3 months. Just a caution. Why? Because maybe there is some problem with PMI, maybe there is some problem with internet, and if somehow you are delayed and you reach to the end of the year, maybe you miss your opportunity. So to be safe, 3rd month, 6th month, and the 9th month is the latest you can go for your 3 attempts. But I wish you appear after one month and you pass directly. That is exactly what I am targeting at. But I have seen people who keep pending the exam. They are little afraid. Should I do it? Should I not do it? So those who are pending it indefinitely, they are at the threat of failing because they are not confident. Once you clear the exam and you get the congratulatory note, you have become a project management professional from that moment onwards. Soon, within a couple of days, you would be receiving a message from PMI, and maybe a little longer it will take for the physical mail to reach you, your address, in which you will receive your certificate and other goodies from the PMI. I am not sure if they are doing it right now, but they used to do it in our time. We used to get a lapel pin and the certificate and the membership certificate. So those things, I suppose they are now providing online, right? So I don't know you will get the lapel pin or not, but anyways, PMI will let you know within next 5 days of passing your exam that you are now formally a PM. This PMP stands good only for 3 years. Is it a shock? It is.
Absolutely.
After every 3 years, you have to renew it. Not by reappearing in the exam, not by appearing in the exam, but by fulfilling certain requirements.
Okay.
And the requirement PMI has set is that you have to complete 60 professional development units in these 3 years. What is a PDU? PDU is that many hours of training, experience, or any effort you have put into the project management. But the biggest effort which is counted is formal education. If you attend a training of, say, 30 hours, you will get 30
I'm on a
PDUs.
video, Rudra. Please.
Similarly, I suppose if you can keep completing 20 PDUs per year, a course of 20 hours you can attend, and you will have 60 PDUs easily completed in 3 years. Right? And once that is done, you can go for renewal. A little fee
Suhail,
would be there. Yes, please.
so tell me the expansion of PDU again, please.
PDU, okay. A PDU is 1 hour of training in advanced topics of project management is
Okay.
usually the best way of doing it. 60 professional development units mean you have received a 60-hour training during the last 3 years.
Okay.
You could
Okay.
divide it on yearly basis, maybe 20 hours per year, or you can do it all together at the end of in the last year. But whatever you do, you have to complete 60 PDU. Now, it is not only through education. There are other ways and means of getting your PDUs, but education is the most appropriate manner. I mean, if you attend certain trainings or courses or conferences or workshops, you will get 1 hour PDU, 1 hour PDU against 1 hour of interaction, right?
Oh, I get what you mean. Attend workshops, conferences. Okay. Now
Exactly.
it makes more sense. Okay.
Moreover, you can also claim some of the PDUs for your last 3 years experience. I think there is a restriction to that. You can't claim, I think, more than 5 PDUs for your previous 3 years experience. You can also claim, if, for example, I am teaching you, I can claim PDUs for teaching you.
Okay.
Or you write a book or a research paper, or you facilitate a session on project management, all of these activities will give you PDUs.
Okay.
But
Okay.
these PDUs are going to be much lesser than the PDUs which the students receive. If a student receives 30 PDU from your training, you can't claim 30 PDUs for yourself. You will get about 3 PDUs from that training. I hope you understand that.
Yes.
But anyways, that you'll find it all in the PMP handbook, right? That will tell you how these PDUs can be gotten and what are the various categories of PDUs. But generally speaking, tail and triangle, we just studied. Do you remember that? Tail and triangle.
Yes. Power skills. Is that what?
Yeah, exactly. So
Power skills,
you
ways of
have,
working, business
yeah,
acumen. Okay.
exactly. Your 60 PDUs will be divided into these three categories, right? So
Yeah.
I'll tell you later on sometime. I'll show you a diagram, or you can find it on the PMI website. But it is not in these presentations. Okay, the training material you will get from PM Training School is a student workbook, which is kind of a PDF format of the, no, it's a descriptive format, like a book. Then class handouts are PowerPoint PDFs. Okay, then you have to access these standards. If you are a member of PMI, naturally you will become a member of PMI. All these standards of PMI you can download free of cost. So, what are the relevant standards for you for passing the PMP exam? These are the 3 standards you must refer to. One is the Guide to the Project Management Body of Knowledge, 7th edition. Looks like this one. And if you are trying to learn more about the predictive approach and the waterfall, then you must refer to this book. But you see, remember, you are not going to be asked questions only on waterfall. You will get mixed questions. There are three methodologies classically. One is called agile or adaptive. Other is called waterfall or predictive. And these are two extremes. Anything which is a combination of both, any status between predictive and adaptive is generally going to be called as a hybrid. But anyways, so for adaptive, there is a separate book also, Agile Practice Guide. You can refer to this one. For predictive, you can refer to this one. And for all, you can refer to the latest edition, 7th edition. Right? Focus on 7th edition. Refer to these two other standards when you require them, when you have a query to ask. And there are many other standards, you can refer to them as well, wherever required. How do you fill your application and what is the application? What does it look like? The PMP exam application is a multi-page document. I mean, when you start filling your application, it can't be completed just in 1 or 2 screens. It will span across several screens. Every educational experience will be 1 screen. If you have done a graduation and a master's and you want to show both of them, there will be 2 separate screens to record that. If you are showing 10 different projects, you will have to fill your experience on 10 different sheets separately. So it will take some time to fill in the application. It is just not a job of 10 or 15 minutes. And especially because you won't have all the data, relevant data available about the dates, persons, phone numbers, emails, and all those kind of things. You may have to refer back to someone, get back to someone, and then you can revisit your application. It will be saved as much as you have done. And you can revisit it anytime and you can complete it. I would recommend you complete it in 4 to 5 sittings. And that should not happen spanned over a month, but maybe 3 or 4 days, you can do this thing complete. If you have all the data available, I suppose it would be simply cut and paste, and that would take just 15 to 20 minutes to fill the whole application. But anyways, I don't recommend that. Yes, of course, you gather all the data and very carefully fill in the application. Please do not lie in your application.
Got it.
So, I have seen some cases. I was in Iran a while back, and there I was told that there is one person who has not only, whose audit has been rejected by PMI. Her application was accepted, but her audit was rejected. That was the very first case in my life. I had seen someone whose audit was rejected. So I asked them to let her contact me and tell me what did she fill in the audit and what did she do and what was her original application looks like. When I saw her application and I asked her questions about her experience, she was completely lying about everything. She did not have that experience at all. And when they asked for audit and she got it signed from different people, they also did not reflect her experience. And therefore, this was the one example where I've seen the audit was rejected. This doesn't happen very often. I have seen only one case in my last 25 years. But you should not commit any such mistake. Lying is the biggest problem here. Eh, because, I see people in some places, they lie too much. So do not inflate it, do not deflate it. Just say what you really did, what your experience is. Okay, they will ask you, apart from putting in data about your project, they'll ask you to give a write-up of 200 to 500 words on each project you have done. Now, when you are doing that, you must be careful that you should make it more sellable to PMI, that whatever you are doing, you are looking at it from the glasses of PMI. So Dr. Faiz Rasool has done a very good job. He has.
Suhail, can I ask you something?
Yes, please.
This is the application form that you were referring to before, right? Wherein if I clearly state the projects that I've done one after the other, what kind of project, I need to
Yes.
get this, what do you call, sign off or approval from my boss if required, correct?
No, this is not that form. That is
Okay.
this one. This is the audit form.
All right.
Your auditors get this form and they just verify that all the information has been supplied to them is correct. They say yes,
Okay.
and they write their comments if they have to. They
Okay.
just sign it. They don't do anything else. They just say
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, coming back to your application, I was talking about this section where you will have to fill your experience of 200 and 500 words. How do you do that? Don't just write in a long paragraph without breaks. Don't even write it separated in paragraphs, but try to give headings for everything you are explaining. Especially these headings will help. What is your objective in this project? What was your role? What was the deliverable? What was the methodology? How did you start the project? How you planned the project? Try to, uh, use as much terminology of PMBOK as possible. Maybe in your practical life you are not using it, but try to relate what you study here with your experience in the field, and try to speak the project management language. So this is the example for you. You could tailor your application is in this kind of format and put that in the experience. This is the audit form which I have already explained to you. Okay. I'm sorry I did not give you any break, but they are just about 15-20 minutes. If I can end early, I'll let you go earlier. Okay. As I told you, there are going to be 180 questions and 30 minutes to complete the exam. You could get 2 optional 10-minute breaks for computer-based exams. And definitely you are going for a computer-based exam, because paper-based exams are only allowed in countries which do not have access to automated testing. This computer-based exam can be done in 2 ways. You could go to an exam center and write your exam on computer, or you can do it from the comfort of your home. But in both the cases, it will be a proctored exam. Somebody would be watching you. How can someone watch you when you are doing it from your home? Your camera would be on, your mic would be on, and whatever you are doing, the voice and audio and video will be reaching the proctor. He's watching you, he's listening to you. And if you switch off your camera or your mic, your exam will be cancelled. So I hope you understand that. So questions could be of various types. It could be multiple choice. It could be multiple response. It could be matching questions, hotspot questions, fill in the blanks, and I'll give you examples for each one of them. So these are basically 6 types of questions. True and false questions are there, but they are going to be very few. All of the questions are not going to be true and false. Very few questions would be true and false. Most of the questions would be either multiple choice or multiple response. Multiple choice questions are those in which only one answer is correct. Multiple response questions are those where more than one answers are correct. Then we have got, just a moment. Okay, so we can have drag and drop questions. I'll show you that. Limited fill in the blank and hotspot. Let me give you the examples of each one of them. I think true false is very clear to you. We have already done 2 questions on eligibility and all. So that is a kind of a true false question. This is a multiple choice question. You will be given 4 or maybe more options. Only one will be correct. And how to recognize a multiple choice question is, in your exam, it would be showing options with these radio buttons. Can you see these buttons? 1, 2, 3, 4. Rounded buttons.
Yes.
So when you click on one, it will be highlighted or it will be filled with a dot. If you click on another one, the previous dot will go off and the dot will appear in this. So at a time, you could keep only one correct answer and you can submit your exam, your question. For example, in this case, this might be the correct answer. So these red areas, they are wrong answers, but actually they will not be red. They will be blank. Then we have got the multiple response questions, where there are more than one options which are correct. Traditionally, PMI, when asks a question, it writes down at the end of the question in brackets how many options are you supposed to pick. Like in this question, it says choose 3. And the other thing which represents a multiple response question, you won't have rounded buttons, but these squares in which you can make a tick mark. So you have to make 3 tick marks, right? And it would be something like this. This is a multiple response question. This is drag and drop. I don't know if you have been appearing on online exams. Drag and drop, you might have seen. There are some options on the left-hand side and some options on the right-hand side. You have to relate the options on the left-hand side with the options on the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, you have been given names of some of the processes. On the right-hand side, there are some of the process groups. You have to click on that option and drag and drop it into the yellow area next to process groups. Right? So it will act something like this. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Fill in the blank is the most oldest form after true and false, but there is a catch. You are not given any options here to choose from. You have to come up with the right word, which is in the solution of PMI. If you are giving the correct answer, but not using the right word, PMI may mark it wrong. I hope you understand my point. For example, in this blank, well, if you have studied PMBOK, you have taken this course, you can easily tell what is to be in the blank. But what is your opinion? What should be in the blank?
I have absolutely no idea, Suhail. I can Google it, but I won't be. I will be cheating if I Google.
No problem. Even if you do that, I don't mind. But okay, Nabil, you tell me.
Predictive, basically, it comes under the waterfall. So,
Okay. So predictive projects are what? While adaptive projects focus on team collaboration with stakeholders and customers. There is a one word or a two-word answer.
I'm not sure.
Okay. The answer is plan driven, right? And adaptive projects are change driven. We will discuss this thing later. But you see, if you would have used some other word which even were correct, right? For example, you would have written plan oriented. That would have been not the right answer. Whereas you are correct. You are saying the same thing. So this is the catch in fill in the blanks, that you have to use exactly the right word, which is in the mind of PMI.
Got it.
The last type of question, which are going to be very few, you would be presented with some type of a chart or a graph or whatever. And there would be a question relevant to that graph, and there will be certain hyperlink areas on the chart which you could click. There will be 4 options to click on, and you have to select one. So maybe, according to your question, the correct answer might have been C, then you will click C. If it was A, you will click A. So like, in this case, we picked A, right? So after doing every question, you will submit it. I mean, you will press next, as if the next question can appear to you. Remember, in your exam, you can revisit your questions you have attempted already.
Oh, I wanted to know that. Okay. So you can always go ahead and complete a section that you're
Yes,
comfortable with
exactly.
and come back. Okay.
And because there are so many questions, so what they have done is they have a review button also. So when you press that, the list of 180 questions are marked there. All the
And
180
Suhail,
questions are there, and those questions you have not attempted or which you have marked for review, you could directly address them. You
got it.
click on that.
And also within that span of time, I need to manage the time such that what you recommend is I attempt all the 180 questions. That is the best thing to do.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes, but you see, there is a mandatory break of 10 minutes in between.
Okay.
Now, but previously, when we used to appear, there was no break. And we had a
Okay.
paper of 4 hours, 200
Okay.
questions. But now the things have slightly changed. They have accommodated a 10-minute break, and you could take another 10-minute break, but within that time frame, one break the PMI will offer you after you have attempted around 60 to 70% of exam. But catch here is that you have to submit that much paper.
Okay.
You should review all those questions you have attempted so far and submit them. You cannot revisit them after the break.
Okay.
So that is the key. So after the break, you will be only presented with the remaining questions.
Oh man, that's tricky. Okay.
So, okay, one thing more. Taking a break is very good, because 4 hours of exam is a very long time, and you are concentrating, and it is not like exam you used to do in colleges and universities, where you see you had to write a complete thesis about a topic for maybe 10-20 pages. It's not like that. Every time, you see, you have got almost around 1 minute and around 40 or 50 seconds, even less than that, probably 80 seconds total, 80 to 90 seconds total, you will have on average to attempt each question, right? But some questions are going to be so simple, so easy, they can be attempted in 5 seconds.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I need to have a plan.
Exactly.
I need to have enough practice and a plan to
Yes.
finish off
If you
sections
are,
which like, for example, multiple choice.
yes.
Yeah, I need to have a plan. Sorry, I need to have a plan.
Secondly, I would like to tell you that I said earlier, if you are very well prepared, every question will look like a piece of cake to you. You
Yeah.
would be attempting them very quickly, very quickly. So go with a breeze, do the easy questions. I mean, because you are well prepared, so there are so many easy questions. So do the easy questions in one go. Any question which is like taking a little more of your time, just leave it. Mark it for review. You can put a tick in the review column, review thing, and you can move ahead. So I would estimate that you, in this breeze, you could have attempted 70% of your exam questions correct. Why? If you're well prepared, your first response action is right answer. If you revisit that question, it is highly likely that you will change the answer and you will make it incorrect.
I agree.
So the things you are confident about, never revisit them.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Now you are left with those questions which you have not answered, or which you are doubtful about. You have marked them. Go to the review page and then visit each one of those questions from there. Now, the lengthy questions or difficult questions, you can give them more time, because interestingly, 70% of the exam you have done will take not more than 1 hour or one and a half hour, because you were well prepared. Say it takes 1.5 hours. You are still left with a lot of time. Now, for the remaining 30% of the exam, you can think, you can give more than 2 minutes to each question, right? But again, don't try to waste your time on one question. If you are not getting it, forget about it. Just put a limit that I will work on this question for, say, 2 to 3 minutes. And if I can't find the right answer, then I will adopt the process of elimination. What is the process of elimination? Very simple. If you don't know the answer, then out of, say, you have to pick one correct answer out of the 3 options provided. You say, which is the worst option, which is impossible. You eliminate that answer. Now you are left with 3. Out of these 3, you eliminate one more answer. and then you are left with 2. Then eliminate one more, and whatever is left is your correct answer. But please don't do it at random. Like people do, like close their eyes and put a finger on one thing. That is absolutely absurd. That is uneducated type of randomness we don't want to adopt. Nabil, are you with me?
Yes, sir. I am with you.
Okay. As far as your course is concerned, I'm done with my time, but quickly, I must tell you, these are the 6 lessons we will be covering from the next class onwards. Tomorrow, we will start lesson number 1, which is about business environment, or you can say business acumen. Lesson number 2 is starting the project, which is more towards the power skills when you are trying to form the team, communicate with the stakeholders, getting to know them. So this is more towards the power skills. Then planning the project is highly technical. This is the ways of working. Although you could be using some of the power skills here also, but mostly it is ways of working. Leading the team, again, your leadership skill will come into action. Lesson number 5, support the project team. Again, it is, like your servant leadership or whatever. And 6th lesson is closing the project. We also have certain conventions and certain a case study. Nirja, you would have received that from PM Training School. There is a document which is a complete case study. For you, Nabil, I can share it with you, and you can read it, and in the next class we can talk about that. But it would be on and off required throughout this course.
I think
Thank
I
you.
can see Dr. Faiz has shared with me, the list of things, but then he hasn't shared the access to the portfolio. So I need to respond back to him with the username and
Yeah.
password. So I have
Okay.
to email back to Faiz to say that I've completed my first class and
Right.
if he could still give me access. Maybe I'll follow up
Okay.
with Dr. Faiz.
Yeah, of course, he will give that. He'll do that. Right. I think we should stop it, but I will quickly just look at this slide, and these are the various symbols we'll be using here in the course. If a slide is talking about predictive or waterfall approach, this symbol would be visible on the slide on the left-hand side. Adaptive approach, that is agile, for agile. This is for mixed, hybrid. This icon for important, this icon for interactivity on that slide. This icon is for expert judgment, tools and techniques, questions, discussions, notes, etc. And then if you see this sign on a slide, just remind me to click on it. Because that, if I click on it, because I am running the presentation, if I click on it, it will open up some definition, right? So if I forget to open this slider, definition slider, you must remind me and I will open and close it, right? So there are some definitions hidden, and wherever there is such definition, this book sign, this definition slider is shown here. This is a case study. This is the project manager of the project. This is the name of the project, Shoppe Industries Lifestyle Center. And in short, we call it SLC. This guy, project manager, his name is Ang Wen. And you may have to interact with this guy on and off, helping him with certain things or answering certain questions. And maybe you will be introduced to other characters in this story also. So that's it. We can call it a day. Any questions from you at the end of this session?
Suhail, no questions from me. I think you have given a good introduction and you have pretty much covered a lot in the span of 1.5 hours. I think the very next thing for me to do is to go through it and probably in the next session come back to you with any questions if I have based on whatever we've covered so far. but I will follow up with Dr. Faiz on access to the portal. That is the first thing I'll do.
Good, good.
And Suhail, do you, after every session each day, do you recommend spending time on whatever you have covered on an everyday basis? That's what you will
Yes.
recommend, right?
Actually, I will be providing you the video. It
Okay.
will take a little time, like, there is a processing time for Zoom to, let us download the video, maybe 2-3 hours. And after the course, I will try my level best because I'm usually busy to download that and upload
Sure.
it to the YouTube channel, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
I will share the playlist link to you, and you don't have to, remember the link I'm sending. It's only one link. You go to the playlist, all the previous files are there.
Okay.
You-
And the video that you're recording right now,
right
as
now.
soon as you stop recording, would I be able to access it, or you will have
No,
to
no, no.
send it?
You won't be. I will download it. I will put it up onto the YouTube. That is the safest way of doing it. Randomly,
Okay.
anytime you can access it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Nabil, anything from your side?
No, sir. Thank you so much for the lecture and
So we are meeting again tomorrow, same time. Today I am closing the session sometime early because I didn't give you any break. But tomorrow we'll have the full session and we will be starting with lesson number 1. Right? Thank
yeah.
you very much
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you
and
so
take
much
care.
for your time.
Thank you and take
See you
care.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.